The crimson sun of Kepler 442b hung low on the horizon, casting long shadows across the crystalline desert. Emma's exosuit registered the temperature at minus 43 degrees Celsius, but sweat still pooled at the base of her spine. In her arms, wrapped in thermal sheeting salvaged from the crashed shuttle, lay the creature that would either save her life or end it, the cub if one could call it that, weighed approximately 15 kilograms. Its 6 legs hung limp, 3 on each side of its segmented torso. Bioluminescent patches along its carapace flickered weakly, their light stuttering like a dying star. Emma had found it near the wreckage, pinned beneath a support beam, its chitinous armor cracked and leaking a viscous blue fluid that her suit's analyzer identified as hemolymph with copper-based oxygen transport. She should have left it. Protocol dictated immediate evacuation to the emergency beacon 2 kilometers south. The Zhenghe's orbital scans had been clear. This region belonged to an apex predator. The indigenous species classified as apex, Keplerius by the xenobiology team before communications, went dark, exhibited territorial behavior and pack intelligence rivaling Earth's Orcs. They defended their young with calculated brutality, but Emma had been a combat medic before she became an exobiologist. Some instincts ran deeper than protocol. The cub's breathing had stabilized after she administered a broad-spectrum coagulant and splinted its fractured forelimb with titanium struts from her field kit. Her suit's medical scanner showed its core temperature dropping despite the thermal wrap. It needed proper shelter. It needed its parent, and its parent was hunting her. Emma's motion sensors had detected the adult 20 minutes ago, maintaining a distance of exactly 300 meters. It moved with geometric precision through the crystal formations, never approaching directly, never retreating, waiting, calculating. Her suit's a limited quantum processor, named Iris, had been tracking the creature's movement patterns, attempting to extrapolate intent from behavior. Iris analysis, Emma whispered, her voice barely audible over the wind that howled through the crystalline spires. The entity maintains consistent distance and trajectory parallel to your current heading, Iris replied, its synthetic voice flat and emotionless. Probability of immediate attack, 12%. Probability of observational tracking, 88%. Assessment. The entity is monitoring your treatment of the juvenile. Emma's jaw tightened. The beast was watching her care for its young. Testing her, she adjusted her grip on the cub, careful not to jostle the splinted limb. The creature's primary eyes, there were 4, arranged in a diamond pattern on its angular head, opened briefly, fixing on Emma's faceplate. In that moment, she saw not the alien geometry of a foreign evolution, but something universal: pain, confusion, and the fundamental desire to survive. "I've got you," she murmured, knowing the creature couldn't understand her words, but hoping it might comprehend her. The terrain grew treacherous as Emma navigated, between towering crystal formations that refracted the dying light into 1,000 bleeding rainbows. Her suit's ground-penetrating radar had detected a network of caverns ahead, likely the creature's den. Every instinct screamed at her to turn back, to prioritize her own survival, but James wouldn't have turned back. The thought of her research partner hit her like a physical blow. James Chen, the mission's lead xenobiologist, had died in the shuttle crash. The impact had crushed the cockpit, killing him instantly, while the reinforced cargo bay where Emma had been cataloging specimens had held. He had sacrificed his career safety protocols, insisting on piloting through the magnetic storm to collect time-sensitive data on the indigenous life forms. He had always believed that first contact shouldn't be about domination or fear. It should be about understanding, about proving that intelligence could recognize intelligence, regardless of the form it took. Emma stopped at the entrance to the largest cavern. The adult creature had closed the distance to 50 meters. She could see it now, a nightmare of organic engineering nearly 4 meters long, with 8 powerful legs and a head crowned with sensory appendages that twitched and swiveled, processing information through channels humans could barely comprehend. Its bioluminescent markings pulsed in complex patterns, possibly communication, possibly threat display. She knelt slowly, placing the cub on the ground at the cavern's threshold. Her hands shook as she unwrapped the thermal sheeting, exposing the splinted limb and the medical patches she'd applied to seal the cracks in its armor. "I fixed what I could," Emma said, her voice steady despite her fear. "The splint needs to stay on for at least 10 solar cycles. The blue patches will dissolve as the carapace heals." The adult creature approached with measured steps. Emma forced herself to remain still, every muscle screaming at her to run. She had entered its territory. She held its wounded child. By every rule of nature, she should be dead. The creature stopped 3 meters away. Its sensory appendages focused entirely on the cub, then shifted to Emma. She could feel the weight of its intelligence examining her, evaluating the splint, the medical interventions, the care taken with something that wasn't her species. The cub made a sound, a high-pitched trill that Emma's audio sensors captured but couldn't translate. The adult responded with a deeper harmonic, and suddenly dozens of bioluminescent signatures lit up within the cavern. A colony. A family. Emma's suit detected movement as smaller juveniles emerged, surrounding the wounded cub with gentle touches of their forelimbs. The adult creature moved closer to Emma, close enough that she could see her reflection in its compound eyes. Then it did something that would redefine humanity's understanding of alien intelligence. It reached out one limb and carefully, deliberately touched the medical patch on its cub's carapace. Then it touched Emma's glove with the same limb, the gesture unmistakable, acknowledgement, gratitude, recognition. Emma's breath caught in her throat. "You understand," she whispered. "You know I helped." The creature stepped back, its bioluminescent patterns shifting to a soft, rhythmic pulse. The other adults emerged from the cavern, forming a corridor between Emma and the path back to her emergency beacon. Not threatening, escorting Gott as Emma walked through the living corridor of alien intelligence, Iris spoke quietly in her ear. "Emergency beacon activated. Rescue shuttle ETA, 47 minutes. Recommend remaining at current location." But Emma kept walking, and the creatures kept pace beside her, maintaining their protective formation until she reached the beacon's perimeter. Only then did they stop, watching as she activated the beacon's defensive field. The adult creature, the one whose cub she'd saved, remained after the others had retreated. It stood at the edge of the field for several minutes, its patterns shifting through sequences Emma wished desperately that she could decode. Then it turned and vanished into the crystal forest, leaving Emma alone with the setting sun and the weight of what had just transpired. She had walked into the beast's territory carrying its wounded cub, and she had walked out alive, carrying something far more valuable, proof that compassion could transcend the boundaries of evolution itself. James would have been proud.